Hi, I'm Thecia Ellis, and welcome to Grandma's Homestead. Except I'm not on the homestead this time. I am on my way to the Self-Reliance Festival in Camden, Tennessee. The first clip I'm going to tell you is me trying to wrap up with or discuss a little bit about Daisy. No, I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, I was in the car already and trying to tell you about SRF. I think that's what I was trying to do. But I thought I'd go back and try to do a more complete introduction. And I got to go to Self-Reliance Festival last October. I got to talk. And that was kind of a cool thing too, because not only did I get to talk, but probably the reason I got to that they allowed me to do the talk is because they were still small, still trying to, still getting things and still growing. And so having somebody like me, it was good to have. They just needed a slot, I guess. And that's not demeaning at all. That's not what I'm not trying to say it's demeaning, but they're going to have bigger names now. I mean, they're going to, this one, a lot bigger than what I am. And they had already pretty much had that before they let me talk anyway. I mean, they had some really good speakers. So I was definitely grateful to get to do that. But these guys keep growing. They keep kicking butt. And so I'm looking forward to going to the Self-Reliance Festival this time and seeing what I can learn, hooking up with some new people, hooking up with some people that I had met last October. A lot of the people that I had made friends with last October have not been able to make this one. And so that's okay. There's new people to meet, and it's going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm about to head off on the road to go to the Self-Reliance Festival in Camden, Tennessee. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, you can see a little bit. I'm in Missouri now, and I want to see. I don't know. Can you see the flooding? That's a lot of water, guys. There's the Spring River. This is where the Spring River is located. It is well outside its banks. Passed over the Mississippi River. I'm now coming into Illinois. Apparently the bridge that I usually go, the Mississippi Bridge, it's kind of a weird thing. I've told you this before. You go over the Mississippi River or the bridge, and then you make a right and you go over, I can't remember what the other river is. Ohio River, I think is what the other one is, but the Mississippi River is closed, so I had to take a different route. So I don't know where I'm going right now. Okay, so I guess what I did, I just went up to the next intersection up, and now I backtrack, and I'm going to be going over the second bridge, the one that goes over the Ohio River. And if that's wrong, I'll get back on here and tell you what it is. But that's what I'm doing. I'm going to, I missed the one bridge because it's closed for some reason, and now I'm about to go to the other one. So I'm going to be back on track. Yep, this is the Ohio River. It's amazing how much higher it is now than it was 5 months ago, when all I could see was sandbars everywhere. Yep, there's a lot of water through here now.
Really, for any of them, it requires an input. It requires the sun. Right? So guess what happens at night? Right? You're not charging. Right? But this is true for any one that you pick. It's going to have those types of issues.
I keep forgetting to show some of this stuff. Like, this is a Hack My Homestead. He used to be Hack My Solar, but now he's Hack My Homestead. He does a lot of solar stuff. Does his solar panels there. I've heard him talk several times. This guy and his wife have a YouTube channel designing they're in Tennessee, designing their homestead for a self-sufficient life, and she does marketing, so I might have to check into her pretty soon too. But I love all the things. Look at all this beautiful leather on these people. This is custom. I can't read that. Something wet leather. I just bought some at Grumpy Acres Farm underneath the Kansas City thing, so I forgot they're from Kansas, but Grumpy Acres Farm, I've just started following them recently, and I'm learning about freeze drying and the food part of it and stuff, so that's exciting, I think. Man, I'm really thinking about getting into that.
I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I also wanted to kind of give you an understanding of what my background is and my journey through composting. I began composting really before I actually knew what it even was. I was probably about that high. And my dad used to say, go feed the compost pile.
Okay, that was just a smidgen of what actually happened. There was a lot happening. I had a really good time. I just didn't video very much of it. Sometimes I get caught up in the moment and I forget that I'm supposed to turn on the camera and so I can show you some of the things I'm doing. But yeah, the first guy is Tag, and he's up by Kansas City, and I'm hoping to get and see him or do some stuff or look and see what he's got going. His wife and him have an off-grid place up in Kansas City, and I believe they're the ones that's doing the freestaying.com like I was talking to you about earlier or on the last video. So I need to verify that most likely, but they're doing great work, and I liked his talk because he was talking about, you know, a lot of us really want to go off grid, or we think we do, you know. And he wasn't trying to discourage any of us from going off grid, but he was giving us the truth about it. You know, when the pipes freeze, it's you. When you don't have electricity because it's cloudy, there are things you can't do, you know. And when you're on solar and stuff like that, when the wind quits blowing and it's cloudy and you don't have either wind or solar energy, there are things that you can't do. So that was a pretty good talk. And then Eric, he's got a YouTube channel called Porterhouse and Teal, and oh my gosh, he was exciting. I got to meet him last October, and I think they said he had like 300 subscribers or something like that last October, and within like 3 or 4 months after October, he went home and he kicked butt. And I think I've told you this, I think he's got like 23,000 subscribers now. That is kicking butt. So I was excited to get to see him talking and do a speech on compost, because that's what he's most familiar with, and so it was good to do that. Another guy is funny. I did not want to like his talk. I mean, CJ Kilmer, he does the Dangerous History podcast, and it is history. It's very, very interesting. But when I was at a festival at first, I'm going, I don't know if I want to talk about history. And of course I think it was like call a Fall of Empires or something like that. But oh my gosh, if you get a chance to listen to his recap of that, I think you can get access to that through the Self-Reliance website. I'm not sure, but I know that you can get it somewhere. But the talk he gave that compared to what America is going through now with from the age of our leadership to gender confusion and everything like that is actually lockstep with the fall of every previous empire that's ever been out there and that has fallen. And it was a good talk. He did an excellent job. There were a lot of good talks, and there were a lot of excellent speakers, and I didn't get to see all of them, but because part of it was I was out schmoozing and meeting people and stuff, and it was really cool because even after on Saturday, we got to several of us. They have a thing where if you're a speaker, if you paid extra money and stuff, you like a VIP thing. They had a meal for you there, but some of us decided to just go meet at a Mexican food restaurant, and I was so glad I did that too. I had some old friends, and I met some really cool new people. I met, people who were trying to. The couple that I got to talk most with was a couple from the Portland area that's trying to move to Tennessee, and I felt bad for them after a while because so many of us were trying to help so much. We were giving them so much information about what to think about in how to buy, what kind of land you want to get, what kind of animals you want to get, are you going to build new, are you going to remodel, and they were very kind people, but I really get the feeling their heads were spinning by the time that several of us were done talking with them. But I really wish them the best of luck. And there was another couple that they had previously moved. Where'd they move from? I think they moved from New York. And then the guy that had made the reservation for us there, they had moved from New Jersey to Tennessee. Yeah, there's some people moving around and stuff. And it was cool with these particular people, because, you always think, like all the people moving from California, Texas, and there is some of this, they take their politics with them and they're changing things as they go. These particular people that I had met that were trying to move to Tennessee were not trying to bring their previous state's politics with them. They were coming there, they were trying to learn, they were wanting to fit in, they were wanting to be the lifestyle of freedom like so many of us want to be. So it was really a cool thing. The first night I was there, a pretty wicked thunderstorm blew through. In fact, that was the night that they had all the tornadoes in Mississippi. So I wanted to meet Bear and he's from eastern Oklahoma here, and I was hoping to meet him, but he ran off to go help clean up and help with people who were in the tornadoes in Mississippi, so I didn't get to meet him. I did get to meet Paul Wheaton. That was really cool. I mean, there was a lot of cool people that I got to meet and visit and learn about and stuff. But it was a good Self-Reliance festival, but the thunderstorm came through and took off the electricity where I was staying. That's fine. It took it out for about half an hour. A lot of other places lost it for about an hour in the thunderstorm that blew through here. And it was a wicked thunderstorm. But then I was hoping to get some work done. When I wasn't at the Self-Reliance Festival, I was hoping to either publish a video or put out a podcast or something like that. But the electricity was so spotty and the internet was almost non-existent. So I couldn't do any work, and I wasn't getting any sleep either due to a couple other things. Like Saturday night, they were having a party in the parking lot, loud music and loud laughter and stuff. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I wanted to get up at 5:30 in the morning and get around so I can come to the Self-Reliance Festival. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, because of the motel that I had ended up staying at, my first motel didn't have my reservation, so I had to go to stay another motel. It was right on Highway 40, and a trucker blew his jake brake at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going, well, I'm up, but I was tired, and I didn't want to go to Self-Reliance Festival on Sunday and then try to drive 8.5 hours home on after being tired and doing a festival. So I just got up and come home, and I'm glad I did, because I was still tired and had to struggle with a few things when I was getting home, but I got home in time to do chores. It felt good to do chores again. It felt good to be home. It felt good to talk and stuff. Oh, and I know I'm talking leg off, but there's one other thing. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm bragging a little bit here. I can't remember the name of his booth, and I eyed him a little bit last year when I was running around, and he wants you to be fit. He has a level of fitness that he thinks you should be at if the crap hits the fan, and so he had a list of things, a minimal fitness level that you need to be at if you want to feel like you want to be able to survive, which is logical, because if you look at some of the old shows, the Preppers, it was some prepper show, like, some of those guys would be 400 and 500 pounds doing weapons training or moving around seeds and doing all that other stuff when they're physically were not fit at all. So this guy set up a system to let you know what your minimum fitness requirement is. And if you remember, I was just getting over bronchitis, like 3 weeks of bronchitis. And I thought, well, I won't be at my maximum, but I'm going to try it. So the first thing I did was had to hang, and I was supposed to hang for 30 seconds. Well, I'm fat. I'm over 200 pounds, and I've got arthritis in my hands. I didn't last like 10 seconds, something like that. So I didn't surprise anybody by doing that. But then, what was the next thing he had me do? Oh, push-ups. I'm going, men or women's push-ups? He goes, men. So I got down there, and I did like 10 push-ups, but that was pretty much all I could do. And I said, well, did I do all right? And I said, did I do enough? He goes, yeah, women need to do 10 push-ups. I said, cool. And I said, well, how do other women do? He goes, yeah, most of them only do one. So he did me a fist pump at me and stuff. And then he had a kettlebell thing, and he picked up a really heavy one and was showing me how he wanted me to do with it. And I said, okay. So I went to grab it, and he goes, no, you can't have this one. It's too heavy. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I want you to do the lighter one. So I had to swing it a certain way for like 50 reps. So I did that. I had no problem doing that. And then so I said, can I try the heavy one? He goes, yeah, I guess so. So I did. And I did 15 or 20 reps of that. And I thought, okay, it's heavy enough. I proved I could do it. I'm done, And then he had another one. It was hard, where the smaller kettle, like you lift one foot, stand on one foot, and then you transfer the kettlebell from one hand to the other, back and forth, and still maintain your balance. It took me a little bit, but I finally got it, train my body to understand what to do, and so that worked pretty good. And then, so he had this duffel bag, and he goes, okay, I need you to carry this bag across the way and back. And I said, okay. So I went to go pick it up, and it was heavy, because I was just going to fling it over my shoulder and walk there and back, but it was too heavy for me to bring it over my shoulder. I said, well, how do you do it? And they showed me how I needed to scoop it up from underneath. And I said, okay, all right. So I picked it up, scooped it up underneath, and and I asked him, I said, how heavy is it? He goes, I think it's about 75 pounds. I said, all right. So it's full of sand or something, so it's not like it had handles or anything like that. You're just walking there across. I'm going, excuse me, as people are walking back and forth, So I got that done. That one winded me. And then I had to do like a V-sit, show that I had some core strength. And so I did it all. And he was just really surprised. And it was kind of weird. After each little thing I did, not only did he fist pump me, but people were lined up to fist pump me. And one girl was even like doing a video and stuff. And finally one of them goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 60. And well, they're going, "Man, you kicked butt." And so that made me feel good. But I didn't. So I told the guy, I said, "So as long as I don't have to hang off a cliff, I could save my family if I need to." He goes, "Yeah, you can save your family." So I had to brag a little bit on that. It was good for my ego. I was glad I did it, and I'm glad I didn't make a total fool of myself. All right, guys. I don't expect you to be doing kettlebells and hanging off cliffs and stuff like that. I wasn't a cliff. I was just hanging off a bar. But it was fun. It was fun to be able to test myself physically. It was fun to show off a little bit, I guess, and stuff too. You don't have to do that. Find something you like to do, though. Something that makes you smile, makes you proud of yourself. And live. Live until you die, guys. And you know what? I wasn't going to go back to the Self-Reliance Festival in October. But, man, I keep hearing about what's going to be happening there. It's like, crap, I think I'm going to go. I don't know. We'll see. So, God bless, guys. I'll see you next time.